Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Brendan with Evoke Bike. So, what I want to talk to you about is manipulating the rest interval in order to ride harder. So, everyone, we're always all talking about progression with watts, progression with duration, doing intervals deep into a ride so, you're more tired. Manipulating the rest seems to be presented as like, hey, say you're doing 3 by 10 minutes at 98 to 105%. Reducing the rest between them will make your threshold efforts harder because you're resting less. But I haven't seen like ride harder, slowly reduce the rest so that then you're riding higher watts for longer duration, right? So the way I was thinking about this, I went back and I've been working on VO2 max stuff for a while and I was really happy with the results. But being more of an FTP guy, WKO calls me a time trialer. I'm okay with that. This blip down here, you can't see until you really zoom in. It was irritating me because my mFTP dropped to 386, and I was like, okay, I feel like I should be able to ride 30 minutes longer than what I had done, which was only 380 watts. But it's pretty hot down in the south, and 30-minute bangers just weren't happening. I actually encountered one of my other athletes that we were sort of in a similar training situation. I gave them this and they crushed it. And then I gave it to somebody else and they crushed it. And it's a really fun interval. So I want to share it with you. What we were doing was saying, instead of going out and just saying, okay, well, I want to be able to ride at 400 watts for 30 minutes. I'm going to go try and ride at 400 watts. Oftentimes it doesn't work that way, right? You need to progress to get there, to reacclimate your body to it. I'm so happy that I've been able to improve my VO2 max abilities because this has always been something that's really hard for me to do. Been really happy with the numbers, and I wanted to get this back though. And because you can't do VO2 max forever. I had done some solid blocks. I had done my fartlek potpourris. I was ready to come back and attack this. So what I said was, okay, what am I doing for 6 minutes? What my game plan was, 30 minutes of a 30-minute TT basically. What if I did 6 by 6 minutes? So it's 6 minutes more work that I'm going to eventually try to do with 4 minutes rest. Then I'm going to do 6 by 6 minutes with 2 minutes rest. Then I'm going to do a 30-minute effort. So basically 5 by 6 with 0 minutes rest. And I'm going to try and see what wattage I can hit and how. So what should my target be? So I looked at what I could ride 6 minutes for. And if I was doing 6-minute repeats, I don't think that 6 by 6, 36 minutes of work, I don't think 95% is probably possible. But if I did 470 and let's say 92%, that's 430. 470 times 90% is 423. I wasn't really exactly sure. So what I did was took my gravel bike. I was doing these on this gravel loop. I wanted to keep everything consistent. And I've been riding my gravel bike more because I got new sick bonds and I'm going to be doing the Gravel Worlds virtual. And it's just time to change up the bikes. So I went out and I did 6 by 6 with 4 minutes of rest on the 4th of August. And I think it was a 90-day PR. Revving over 400 over and over again, I wanted to make sure that I would get through all of them. And the gravel definitely adds more of a challenge. The loop that I do has a handful of turns. Some you need to brake on. But eventually I did my warm-up and I had 405, 399, 400, 398, 385. That must have been the last one. So it was a pretty good ride. I thought that I'd probably be able to do better, and it just wasn't. I'm just reading this. Sorry. Past 56 days, I only done 375, and so 90 days. I mean, that's really going back. Even though that's the gold standard, that's 3 months away. So 400 is my ballpark. 430 was too aggressive. And let's take a look here and see real quick. Sometimes my computer runs too slowly. If it does, when I'm recording these, we'll just skip it. Yeah, see, so decently executed. I made one that was a 12-minute effort because I was actually going for a KOM, so that was a little foolish, but felt good around 400. And then I went and I did high torque. I think high torque is really good for FTP development. If you haven't done it before, I'd start at 4 by 8 minutes and aim for 60 to 70 RPM. Once you get more of these under your legs, pun intended, really hit that 50 RPM, turn over a big gear, and you can be just below your FTP. Then I did some gravel rides in Hardy, Arkansas. Super awesome. It was a sick week of training, lots of TSS, had a great time. Back to the mission at hand, 6 by 6 and 2 minutes rest. And the rest is not rest. Sorry. It's 75% FTP. You're going zone 2. So you don't want to totally gas yourself. So that's when you're going back and looking at like, okay, if I've done 470 for 6 minutes, I can't make myself explode. I need to hit zone 2. So I did a pretty good job of that. Stayed above zone 1 on the first one. On the second one, so I've done my high torque. The high torque feels really good. Really makes your legs just feel like they're ready to crush and destroy. Came back, and we might have to skip off of this. Come on. I need to get a new computer. We'll just do this because it will run faster. All right, got my warm-up in, and then I did 400, 400, 400. So clearly, 390, I fell off, and then 406. And the last one was 372. I thought this was the last one, and then I realized I miscounted, and I kind of just blew myself at the end, pause, and just couldn't recover. But it felt good. So 400 was kind of my number that I was going for. And then I went and did threshold burst, and I actually screwed this one up. It was hot out that day. I was feeling the threshold. The FTP work was going awesome. I started to make the 10-minute go a little bit longer, and I was going to roll around 420, and then I exploded. That was so stupid and like such a beginner move. Don't go harder. I don't know. I just was getting overly excited that the threshold was feeling so good after just 3 workouts. The stimulus, it just hit. Then I did a couple long rides as I get ready for Gravel Worlds Virtual, and I was really tired on Sunday. And yesterday I was like, oh man, tomorrow might not go so well. So I motivate myself. I tell myself, you got this. It's just like the past 2 weeks without any rest in between. You're going to totally crush it. We put out some podcasts or, videos on mindset, and I'm literally rolling over to the effort like, I don't think you got it today. Legs don't feel that great. And I really just started thinking positively. I'm like, dude, you got this. You can do this. This is just like the other weeks. It's just no rest. You're going to get in a groove. And what it is, the laps are almost 10 minutes. So I said, get around the first lap, feeling good. Don't go too hard. Because even though you feel good now, there's still a lot of later. It's going to have 20 more minutes to go. I paced it really well. I was super excited about that. I tried to take the turns that were on the course as fast as possible. There's a couple where you have to brake, and I ended up hitting 417. And so this has worked for so many athletes, and I think that got my good warm-up in. Do the same warm-up every time. Where's the lap? Did I not lap it? That's not possible. Maybe it is possible. You guys are going to be like, this is lying. He doesn't even know what he's talking about. Okay, you know what we do? We'll go to the... So there's a 30-minute effort. I must not hit lap. Man, all my athletes now that I'm like, dude, please hit lap before and after. I'm like, you don't do it. So here's the best 30-minute, 417 right there. Felt good at the end. Like you can see, it just increases towards the end. I probably should have, I was at like 415 and eked out a couple more watts. The back side of the course right here has some really poor gravel. there's like big ruts. So I was just trying to keep the like power down, and I just went a little bit too hard. And I was like, well, I was thinking about trying to keep going for 40 minutes, and I just, I laid it down, and that was that. So super exciting for me. Getting the mFTP back over 400 always feels good. And now, as I was saying, 40 minutes, what I want to do is come back and I'm going to attack some 40-minute efforts. So maybe I'll do like 4x12s. I haven't decided how I'm going to break this one up. But moral of the story, think differently about your intervals based on how you ride. Give yourself some rest and recovery and then just slowly remove it. And you're basically tricking your body. Here, 40 minutes, I've only done 381. PD curve says 398. Let's go for 400. So we'll see how I break it up. I might go back to some VO2 max. I've really been enjoying those. I am going to do some torque tomorrow and then have a family trip. So I'm missing 2 days of riding. I think I'm going to survive, but you never know. And then I'm going to do a couple rides by myself in Asheville. And then Gravel Worlds, baby. Super stoked. So guys, if you have questions, hit me up. But rest reduction, 6x6s, they do the tricks. Talk to you later.